Hey there, cats and kittens. Welcome. My name is Alonda Carter, and I am the Recovering Hunbot. I create anti-MLM, that's anti-multi-level marketing videos, and on occasion, I dip my toes into true crime, and I know it's been a moment since I've done that, but I do have something up my sleeve that I'm investigating. It may be more of a two-parter because there's definitely some crime involved in it, and there's definitely MLM, and there's definitely mystery involved too. There's just a whole lot, but that's not today's video. Today's video, we're going to take a look at just one thing that Ray Higdon has people do in his group called Rankmakers. Now, if you don't know who Ray Higdon is, I've made several other videos about him, so I'm not going to go into the full backstory or anything like that. Suffice it to say that Ray, once upon a time, was part of MLM, and like so many people, instead of staying in MLM, he has started doing coaching so that you too can be successful. He and his wife both do it, and he has a very large group. And in this group, he doesn't let you post any videos unless he requests it, or if it is Celebration Friday. And it's this whole Celebration Friday thing that's kind of grinding my gears because I started thinking about it. And when I really started looking at it and thinking about the BITE model, if you're not familiar with the BITE model, that is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. I'm like, just this one thing shows that going on, because in my opinion, multi-level marketing is a cult. Oh, and I wanted to let you know something because a few people have complained about this, and it's like ads on my video. If you don't know, I don't think most people know. I think you only know if you're a creator. If you're a content creator, you are notified that if a video is at least 8 minutes long, YouTube is going to start inserting mid-roll ads. So I, as a creator, I have no control over that. They just start inserting, the ads. And some people have gotten just all up in arms, like, oh, there's too many ads. And I don't want you to think that I'm here behind the scenes going, add more ads. And I'm not doing that. But there's two things you can do to make your experience better if your experience is less than stellar. And you can do one or both or none. I mean, it's really up to you. This is what I've chosen to do because I consume a lot of YouTube. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get YouTube Premium, because if I have YouTube Premium, I don't have to worry about any of those pesky ads. And it costs, I want to say it's like 11 something. So it basically comes out to like $12 for an individual to have it. There's also a family plan, and I can't remember what the price is. I want to say it's under 20, but that may not be in your budget. You may not want to get an individual, account. You may not want to get a family account, and I get that. So what you can do is just skip the ads, fast forward, do something like that. If you're not having a good experience, adjust it so that it works for you. Now, as a content creator, if you do watch an ad in full, yeah, that's how we as content creators do get paid. And, it varies for every single content creator. It's really not like I'm not making bank. I'm not like, a full-time YouTuber or anything like that. If that is bothering you, I just wanted to offer to you that these are two solutions. And, feel free to skip the ads in my videos if those are really annoying to you and you don't want to get, YouTube Premium, because I don't want you to feel like you're beholden and you just have to watch all the ads. If you don't want to, don't watch them. That's okay. Editing Alonda here. I forgot to say this when I was making this recording, so I'm popping it in here. I wanted to give a special shout out and a thank you to Crystal for becoming my most recent patron. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your support, more than I can ever say. And now back to the video. The contents of this video is for entertainment purposes. It is based on my opinions, experience, and research. Please do not send any hate to anyone involved in the MLM industry or to Ray, any of the business coaches, anything like that, because that's really not the intent. This is to like just kind of shine a light, because yeah, I do side eye the MLM industry, because hence, I am anti-MLM and all of that. But do your own research, and be kind to each other and be kind to me in the comment section, because I'm critiquing an industry that I find problematic. And I also find these different, coaches and doing things where you can be successful in MLM, and these people who create MLMs, and even some of these people who are at the top. I find all of that to be very problematic, each one in a different way, but there's a problem. Just something is rotten in Denmark. Okay, if you do not know this, Ray Higdon's group, Rankmakers, that is composed of people that are in different MLMs. So it's not like he has an MLM where you're joining his MLM. No, 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 no. You can be in Beachbody, It Works, LuLaRoe, Kyani. It doesn't matter what you have joined. You can get a membership to be in his group. And in that group, he provides training. And like I said earlier, one of the things that is allowed is a celebratory dance on Friday. So people will post videos of themselves dancing and celebrating. And what I'm going to do is read some of the posts that are associated with celebratory dances. And we're also going to look at the bite model and see how this fits in with that, and undue influence as well. Because when I started really thinking about it, it's like all of this is deeply, deeply connected. It's an issue that I've had with a lot of these business coaches, is that there they are on the side, but it's still part of the problem of MLM. And in my opinion, some of these things get you to dig your heels in even more. And this celebratory dance, to me, is one of those things. So why may somebody post one of these celebratory dances, which, by the way, if you want to see what any of them look like, you can just use the hashtag Rankmakers and go check it out on TikTok. There may be some over on Instagram. I don't know. I haven't looked over there for them, but I did see some over on TikTok. So people are going to do this celebratory dance because they've taken consistent action. They've been prospecting. They've received 100 no's. They maintain the posture like what Ray teaches. They have a new customer. They have a new team member. They have, completed some personal development. They've completed trainings or whatever. They've had a mindset shift. I mean, there's a whole host of reasons, but basically I see it as something that it gets you more involved in the fantasy of multi-level marketing, because not only are you thinking the thoughts, but you're now putting it in your body. So it's like becoming kind of like part of your DNA or something. You're making it more and more part of you, because what happens is you put up your little post and you put up your little dance, and then people are like, beep, 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 giving you praise for that. So you're getting that recognition, which is one of the 4 vital behaviors of Beachbody. And recognition, I think, is built into all multi-level marketing, opportunities. And it's one of those things that as humans, we want to feel like we are part of a group. We want to be accepted. So if you see somebody posting this dance and you see another person do it, and you see somebody that they're posting it because they have finally taken consistent action, they've finally gotten a team member, they've gotten 15 team members, whatever it is, that kind of like encourages you to do the same thing. It gets into that psychology of like, yeah, I want to be accepted. I want to be part of the group. I want to show that, yes, I am following what I'm being taught. I am doing what I'm told to do, and I am going to make this work. And to me, it's also one of those things that kind of distracts you from what happens, because Ray doesn't stop, marketing to you once you're inside the group. No, 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 because he has a mastermind. He has other courses. He has, get together events. There's other things. Once you're in, for any of these marketers, even network marketing, because, you got to get different products. You are the customer and you are part of the funnel. So once you're in his rank makers, you're in his funnel, and now he is just sending you more and more and more stuff. And yes, he does do live trainings in there, but you're around a bunch of people that they're all like-minded thinking. I did see something the other day which really struck me, and I'm going to share it with you because somebody said something about, I don't remember what the post was, but it was related to cold messaging. And somebody was like basically saying how awful that is. I kid you not. A bazillion people just jumped on this person because they're like, Ray teaches us how to do it the right way and the respectful way. And I'm like, oh my goodness. When I saw that, it's like, you have taken on the MLM personality. It really made me worry for those people because they couldn't see that what someone was saying could relate to what Ray is telling them to do. And I just think that's dangerous. It just, my spidey sense went off. I kind of a red flag. I don't know how you feel about it, but that something to me was just like, oh, what do we have here? What's really going on? And that's kind of something that really kind of sparked my interest in this whole celebratory Friday, because it's like, things are often much darker than what they appear, because you know what? You think, oh, a little dance, no big deal. But then when you start deconstructing the meaning behind it, I think the sinister nature of it reveals itself. Maybe it's just, how I think, since I have a background in anthropology and I think about how people, respond and to different things. I don't know. I mean, let me know, what do you think about that? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you some of the posts that were related to different celebratory dances so that you can see what people are celebrating. And my hope is that you'll see what I'm seeing, because I see this as a way to further cement people into the belief about multi-level marketing. Celebration Friday. I'm extremely happy that a teammate followed Ray's way and signed her first teammate today. We implemented setting goals, and the new rep has already been taking action toward her goals. Keep showing up, lead from the front. It will all come together. Celebration Friday. Celebrating being vulnerable. Celebrating the most amazing team culture, day 13 of 75 hard. Celebrating simplifying my daily actions. Celebrating watching all the amazing people in PTW Season 2. It's Celebration Friday, Rankmakers. Tonight I attained a major rank advancement, a goal I have been working towards for the past 2 months. Yes, and I did it with 6 days to spare in the month, so I dance. Friday celebration, celebrating my team of 500 in just 6 months, celebrating 140 customers, celebrating 6 months with my new company. Okay, now that I've read those to you, what are some of your thoughts about that? Do you see how that encourages people to keep going, that they're outwardly showing what they've achieved because they haven't given up, and that they're working really hard to, make multi-level marketing work? And you know what? When you get a little bitty tiny result, that's enough to fuel the fire. That's enough for you to think, yeah, this is working. Yeah, I can do this. All you need is just a little bit to keep going, to keep paying, and to keep believing. Celebration Friday, celebrating 60 days of consistent activity, some low, zero, no, and feeling the burn, but pushing through despite and until. If you are struggling to believe in yourself, please know that one day you will light up the sky like fireworks. I am celebrating coming to that realization about myself. I'm all for celebrating things, but this to me, it just really feels like all you're doing is getting more and more and more ensnared. Now, when I finish reading all of these, we will look at the BITE model together. We will look at the influence continuum as well, and we'll talk about that. I seriously need to stop working so many Fridays. I feel like I'm always wearing the same outfit on Celebration Friday, celebrating 2 incredible doors opening on the same day. The girl who thought she'd never do anything other than be a doctor is loving the adventure called life. Celebrating 10 new customers, celebrating teammates having amazing results with our product, celebrating a teammate sharing with me how much our opportunity has changed her life. In her words, I'm not reflected in my e-wallet yet, but so much has shifted in a good direction since you shared this with me last year. These doors keep opening. This is why we do what we do. Do not make the mistake of thinking because a teammate isn't making big money that their life isn't changing. Celebrating a shift in my approach to prospecting thanks to inner circle coaching, a small but powerful tweak that's leading to better quality conversations. Grateful for all of the coaches who go above and beyond to make us better equipped to impact more lives. Now, honestly, I don't know if this person who wrote it is the doctor or if someone she recruited is a doctor, but I tell you what, just reading that kind of makes me itch. It's like, you thought you could only be a doctor? Isn't being a doctor like a really good and noble and wonderful thing? But somehow it's like this opportunity is somehow better. I mean, I'm very, very confused by that. But can you see how some of the rhetoric, the MLM rhetoric, is slipping in to all of this because it's always about that consistent action over time. You just keep going, you know. You just don't listen to the haters, don't listen to the negativity, be around like-minded people, all of that. And I just feel this, and above and beyond what I feel bad for is this person who has been at it for a year, but it's not reflected in their wallet yet, and yet they keep going. It makes me sad for the people who are writing this because I worry about them. I worry about their families. I worry about how far into this are they. Today, I'm celebrating my amazing team, celebrating that single mom of 3 who is able to support her 3 daughters, celebrating that mom of 7 who is able to help support the family, celebrating that mom of 2 full-time nurse that was feeling stuck in her previous business, joins me and is crushing it, celebrating a special girl who was homeless twice, cancer survivor who told me she wasn't good for this. Now she is paying off her mom's cancer bills, celebrating so many, winning for the first time, celebrating my team. All of that concerns me. And I suspect, and I could be wrong, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, but I'm thinking with what's going on in the world, that's given it kind of, a boom, because when people are super vulnerable, they will get involved in scams. And they won't see them for what they are. And it really makes me very, very concerned. I hear what these people are saying, and I just think you don't see what's really happening. And that's what I think that irks me the most when it comes to these business coaches, is that they are keeping people, on that hamster wheel of chasing after something and never really getting it. Maybe you get a little bit of a carrot, here and there. But overall, it's like, how much time and how much money are you wasting? That's what I really worry about. I am all fired up this week. I believe there comes a time when everything just falls in line, but not without consistent work. I have huge momentum right now. I no longer struggle to find follow-ups. There's always at least 20 plus a day now. I am having great conversations with people. I am prospecting more than I have been. I am staying committed to discipline and focus, building the mental toughness muscle with 75 hard, just finished day 12. I feel strong. I feel capable. I feel confident, and it's amazing. Oh, it just hurts me. It really, really hurts me, because I can remember thinking like this and writing like this and thinking that, oh, yeah, You just keep going. I'll never forget that when I did go to Summit, my husband, because he was a Beachbody coach, but he wasn't going to go to any of that stuff. And since we were in New Orleans, you know, he was going around to different places, and being the Psalm that he is, I can't remember where he was. But anyway, he was there and he met someone who was, I think, a 5-star diamond with Beachbody. And he started talking to her. And the thing that she told him was like, yeah, just tell her to keep, she sounds like she's doing what she needs to be doing. Tell her, you know, she needs to give it 5 years. 5 years of continuing all of this. And I mean, let me tell you, I did all the things. I didn't do it for 5 years because guess what? We needed to actually be bringing money in the household, and me chasing after Beachbody wasn't it, like it's not for most people. But I see all of this, and I think about how people really get caught up into, which brings me to something I'm researching right now. And it's someone who's been in multi-level marketing for a very long time and has made buku bucks too. And I see these people, because to them, they're making all this money. They're like, oh yeah, just, you know, keeping that, you're making them money. But I kind of started thinking, how do those people get replaced? Those who are at the top, you know, these kings and queens of MLM, if you will. Well, it starts right here with people like this getting this belief and just never stopping and going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Because, you know, over time, yeah, you're going to build that skill set. But I kind of think what also happens is you change who you are fundamentally, because you become that multi-level marketing personality. You're no longer your true self. You have like a different skin on. I mean, you look the same, basically. Your voice sounds the same. But up here, there's something that's shifted. And it's like, in my opinion, you become willing to do things that under ordinary circumstances, meaning if you weren't part of MLM, you wouldn't do, what most people wouldn't do, which then leads you to becoming that true scammer. Because I really don't look at most of the people who have joined, you know, most people who are stay-at-home moms, I don't look at them as scammers. Now, this person that I'm doing research on, that's been doing it for decades, that's a whole different ball game. Because, oh, there's some stuff and things, and it's a pretty nasty ball of wax. Okay, so how does this fit in with the bite model? I put some arrows up here of things that I am calling out, that just this one activity, this Celebration Friday, this dance, I see it having aspects of the bite model involved in it. For the behavior control, I see that it is promoting dependence and obedience, because you are going to do what you're told. You are going to do a dance. You're going to do that on a particular day. Modify behavior with rewards and punishments. Yes, you are rewarded if you do it because people pay attention to you. Then we move over to information control. Divide information into insider versus outsider doctrine. Those who are doing the dance are part of the group. Those who are not part of the group. Require you to report thoughts, feelings, and activities to superiors. You just heard me read all of these things of the reasons why they're celebrating. They're saying exactly what they have been doing and what they're thinking right there publicly. Thought control. Instill black versus white, us versus them, good versus evil type of thinking. And to me, when I think about this, it's like, yes, it's an us versus them, because there's going to be people dancing and people not dancing. Use loaded language and cliches to stop complex thought. Part of it, because everybody may use slightly different language, but it's definitely MLM language. And within it, just using Celebration Friday, that has a particular meaning within this group. So definitely, I feel that there is loaded language being used. Induce hypnotic or trance states to indoctrinate. I definitely see that doing this dance every single Friday can become hypnotic, and also to serve to indoctrinate you into the belief to keep going. Teach thought-stopping techniques to prevent critical thoughts. Well, you know what? If you're doing the dance, you're, quote, having results because you're willing to do this dance and share with everyone what's going on. Allow only positive thoughts. Well, earlier I shared with you when people like shut down someone who dared question anything about cold messaging. Well, this also because you're sharing only positive thoughts because you're dancing. You're focusing on those good things, not those things like how much money and how much time you're wasting. You're focusing on like, I have been consistent. I mean, big whoop. Reject rational analysis, critical thinking, and doubt. And I definitely see this celebration as doing that because you're distracted from what's actually happening to you. Emotional control. Label some emotions as evil, worldly, sinful, or wrong. Yeah, it's wrong if you're not doing the dance. It's wrong if you're not partaking in the training. It's wrong if you're not part of the group. Teach emotion stopping techniques to prevent anger and homesickness. Well, with this, I would say, I don't know if it's exactly anger, but definitely it's stopping you from thinking anything negative about what's going on because you're only focusing on like what joy it's bringing to you. Promote feelings of guilt, shame, and unworthiness. If you're not partaking in it, you are going to feel a little bit like, well, maybe I should be doing that. You're going to start doubting yourself. Shower you with praise and attention, love bombing. Well, every single time somebody posts one of these dances, what happens? People in the group come in and show up and they love, 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 all over the place, which further gets you to go into the belief system that MLM is the way to go. Teach that there is no happiness or peace outside of the group. And that is a big thing about the group overall. But to me, when I see this dance, it helps to solidify that you are in the right place, you are doing the right thing, and you just need to keep on going. Now let's take a look at this undue influence thing. Okay, so now if we look at the influence continuum, first we're going to look at for individuals, and we're just really looking at this in terms of that, celebratory dance. So for individuals, false cult identity, and that's where I come up with the MLM identity. I definitely see doing this dance brings on part of that. It is definitely more destructive than it is constructive to get people to behave in this way. I also do see a part of it as conditional love because you are accepted and part of the group if you are, going along with the program, so to speak. Also, I do see dependency and obedience because if you are doing the dance, you're obeying Ray. You're doing what he says. Okay, now let's look at this for leaders. I do see all of this as part of it being grandiose and elite because, Ray came up basically with a ritual for people to perform. And one way people solidify relationships is by shared rituals. And this is definitely part of that. Power hungry. I definitely see power hungry being part of it because if he can get more people to commit to this dance, it shows that more people are committed to him and committed to his word. He also does claim to have the absolute authority because he gives you, quote, the steps. And I granted the dance itself is not one of the steps. It's just kind of like, an add-on. But I'm not really using this to go through all the things that Ray does. It's really more geared towards just thinking about this dance. Okay, now in terms of the organization itself, yes, I do see it as part of elitist because you know what? The people who are doing it, they're part of a particular group. So having a particular dance, it is an elitist thing to me. Now, when I say a particular dance, I don't mean exact movements, but getting people to do this. And authoritarian structure, absolutely, that's part of the whole shtick when you get involved in any of these groups. Clones people, that is part of it. The whole idea of all of these groups is to clone yourself. The end justifies the means. You hear this over and over and over again. And this idea is fed to you. And you hear it in what people are saying, about this whole dance. It's all kind of interwoven in there. And then the final thing is the no legitimate reasons to leave. To anyone involved in multi-level marketing, there's never a reason to leave. The only reason anyone is leaving is basically if they're weak, I mean, if they're just not going to keep believing and keep going, well, that's their problem. No one should ever leave. It's all sunshine and unicorns and butterflies. I want to know what you think about this. This one little idea, this celebration dance. Do you see how it is a form of controlling people, of getting people to fall into line, of getting people to dive deeper into the belief and to allow that belief to become more part of their DNA, of who they are? Let me know what your thoughts are. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. It's all engagement to me, but I hope you'll stick around. I really appreciate you spending time with me, and be on the lookout for that video that I'm going to be doing about someone who's been in it for, decades, and the twisted tale and then the crimes associated with it. It's a thing. Anyway, thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, you're beautiful and I love you.